Welcome back, everyone, to the eCoreAcademy e-learning platform. My name is AJay Raj, back with yet another eCore Express Java lesson for you all. And today's lesson is going to be yet another exercise lesson. We're going to be doing some practice on the previous lesson topics that we covered in this unit. Our unit is called Inputs and Outputs. We're going to be doing our second exercise of this unit on calculations. We're going to be diving into a quick practice problem involving different types of calculations and expressions. If you remember, one of the 3 lessons that we covered in this unit was on expressions. So we're going to be hitting that target mainly in this lesson. So without further ado, let's switch over to our Eclipse workspace to do some real-time practice. All right, everyone. So as you can see on my screen, I created a new class for this new exercise in this unit. So you can put this under Unit 2 of your eCore Express Java project. Just create a new class, and we'll call this GradeAverages. As you can see here, the name of this public class is GradeAverages. So we're going to be creating a new class for this this exercise here. So let's take a look at the prompt of this exercise. So the prompt says that John has a GPA of 3.9, Eddie has a GPA of 3.8, and Tom has a GPA of 2.3. We have to calculate the average GPA of these 3 students, and we have to print this value to the console window. So in order to do this, if we just map these things out, we know that we're going to be utilizing our expressions lesson. We're going to be utilizing both addition and division in this case. So those are all going to be encompassed in this lesson here. So please make sure to look back at the expressions video if you don't know how to do those basic operations, so that we're going to be going at a much faster pace in solving this. So first things first, let's create things that are a little bit more organized. We're going to create some variables. We want to store the GPAs of John, Eddie, and Tom in those variables so that we can calculate it and stay organized. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to hit enter here, or just put it up top here. We'll call this our variable declarations up here. And we'll just move this prompt to the bottom of the screen. So this is our variable declarations. We see here that John has a GPA of 3.9, Eddie has a GPA of 3.8, and Tom has a GPA of 2.3. We want to make each person their own variable, and we'll store them in as a double because remember, you can't make these integers since they have decimal values, their GPAs. So we'll create 3 double variables. All right, so we'll say double John, double Eddie, and double for Tom. We just created 3 separate variables for the 3 people that we're going to be trying to find the average of their GPAs. Now the next part is we're going to start assigning these variables some values. This is where we assign our variables. Here we're going to be assigning our values to John, Eddie, and Tom. Those are going to be their respective GPAs. So let's say John equals, and as you can see here, John has a GPA of 3.9. So we're just going to set his variable equal to 3.9. We know that Eddie has a GPA of 3.8, as you can see here. We'll set that equal to 3.8. And lastly, Tom has a GPA of 2.3. So we'll set Tom equal to 2.3. All right, now that we've done that, let's go to our third part of this exercise, and that's going to be our calculations. We're going to calculate their average. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to find a sum of these 3 values, all 3 of their GPAs, and we're going to divide it by the amount of people that there are. So in order to find the sum of their GPAs, we're going to have to create one more variable here. That's going to be our double. We're going to create another double. We're going to call it our sum. We're going to take this variable sum. It's also a double, so it can store in decimals. We'll set sum equal to John plus Eddie plus Tom. So what we're doing here is we're taking sum, we created a new variable sum, and what sum is going to be storing is the sum of all 3 GPAs of the 3 individuals, John, Eddie, and Tom. It's going to be storing the sum of those variables. Now the last part of this is in order to calculate an average, you have to find the total amount, the total sum. You have to divide it by the amount of objects or the amount of people that you are utilizing, the amount of objects in your list. So as you can see here, we have 3 people here, John, Eddie, and Tom. So we're going to divide this sum by 3, and that's going to be our final result. That's going to be our average. So we need to create one more variable. We're going to call that average. We're going to say average equals our sum divided by 3. Now remember, the division sign is our slash, regular slash. And as you can see here, our plus sign is just our regular plus. That's for addition. So once we've done that, average equals sum over 3. The final step of this is to print out to the console. Print to the console. Now that we've gotten our average, this is exactly what we need. This is the answer that we want. It's the average of all 3 of their GPAs. We're just going to print this out to the console with our system.out.println statement. That's going to print out the information to our console window, and that should be our final answer. So we're going to take away our blue quotes because we're printing out a variable. You don't need to put it in blue quotations. We're trying to find the value of average. We want to print out the value of average and not the actual text average. So we want to print out the value of average, so we don't put that in blue quotes because it's a variable. So now we can hit our green play button. And as you can see here, this is the average of all 3 of their GPAs. Obviously, you can round this off, but this is going to be their overall average GPA. So it's going to be 3.3 repeating approximately. All right, everyone. So that'll be it for today's lesson. A bit of a quick exercise here just to reinstate all of our calculations and expressions that we learned in this unit, just to reinforce those and go through some real-time practice. So I hope you all enjoyed this lesson. Please make sure to like and subscribe, and also leave a comment down below to help support the channel. And I'll see you all in the next one.